I'd like to take a moment to draw attention to recognize Efren Martinez, who I'm pleased to have us join today as the 46th Assembly District's Veteran of the Year. Efren? Efren is a veteran of the Marine Corps, where he served 3 combat deployments in Iraq and was recognized for his bravery with several military commendations, including a Presidential Unit Citation. He's now the Executive Director and CEO of the Florence Firestone Walnut Park Chamber of Commerce, and I'm honored to thank him for his service to our nation and his continued involvement in our civic affairs. Thank you for being here today. That's ultimately the most important aspect of events like today's luncheon, the opportunity to thank our veterans for service, to honor the sacrifices that they've made, and to hear firsthand from the stories of their service so that we can preserve the memories of their struggles on behalf of all of us. I was fortunate to have an incredible opportunity a few weeks ago. The USS Iowa was moved on its last voyage across water from one part of Southern California to its new home in San Pedro. As we moved across the water and held a ceremony commemorating the Iowa's new role as a museum ship, I had the privilege to spend some time walking around that magnificent ship and really taking in the history that that ship and the brave men and women who served on it had a role in. We were, for a while, in the captain's cabin, the cabin that was retrofitted to serve as the cabin for President Roosevelt as he made his way to Cairo in anticipation of the Tehran summit. And it was interesting to see that the captain's cabin had been changed. The doorways had been cut down to the deck so that President Roosevelt's wheelchair could be moved from one room to the other. And it was the only ship in the U.S. Navy that actually had a bathtub in it to serve President Roosevelt's needs. But as we stood there, we talked about the incredible role that this ship and other ships in our service had in preserving liberty and making sure that we have the world that we had today. But what was most amazing was the opportunity to talk with sailors who had served on that ship. As it has made its way to Los Angeles as a museum, there is this wonderful group of sailors, of other veterans and of civilians who've come together to preserve the history of this magnificent ship and all those who served on it. And I had the privilege of meeting with one man. His name was John Wolfenbarger, who at the age of 19 enlisted in the Navy. And he served on the Iowa in the Pacific during World War II. He told us the stories of his service. His stories of service were, quite frankly, awe-inspiring. And I was pleased to have the opportunity to invite he and other volunteers from the Iowa to join us to spend a few moments in sharing with us about his extraordinary experiences on a ship that will inspire generations of Californians in its new home in San Pedro. I'd now like to present John with a plaque from the Assembly in recognition of his service then and his continued service now. Thank you for allowing me to have him join us.